Hello everybody, welcome back to another Jollymun Podcast. This is episode, I believe 28, maybe 27, but I believe 28, as I have stated. And it is the 2nd of June, 2020. 2:52 it is, and it's a reasonably sunny day. Bit of a boring day though. You know, there's sometimes when it's just nothing really is happening. It just doesn't seem like anyone's alive. Oh, I think I've just worked out why. It's because I spend a little bit too much time on social media, and everyone's done this thing where they don't go on social media for I don't know, it's something like their solidarity with the riots and things, and they're not going on social media, something like that. I don't know. I can't, of course, because everyone's done it, no one's explaining it, so I'm just left in the dark over here. And so I've been on social media, and it seems like nothing's happening, and of course it's kind of a microcosm. No, it's kind of just what I've experienced. It's probably really lively. There's probably some people out there who are entirely busy. Medics, people who work in slaughterhouses probably aren't having a day off because they want to post a black picture on Instagram. And of course I'm being incredibly busy, incredibly productive, bringing the most entertaining, audible experience to the world. And with my enormous, gargantuan, cosmic influence I have over the absolute cohort of listeners, I'm not really going to talk about the protest things brief. Barely. All I will say is that if you would like to, something that I've read and I really liked reading, which involved a lot of race and history, or not history, but more. I think it got across very well the difficulties people were having due to race within, I think it was in the 60s. It was James Baldwin's book called Another Country. And there's a book, and it's about an interracial relationship. And also there's some, it's quite unique in how it deals with sexuality. And it's just a very good book. And there's a kind of an essay in there which I think James Baldwin, who's the author, really tries to get across his views on race. And he does that very well. And there's very powerful. That's all. Because I think there's a lot to be learnt from these kind of novels and things, and they really get it right. I found he did anyway. People are arguing, people are getting tear gassed. It's crazy, but in the UK, I've not really heard much about it other than through social media. Anyway, it's going to be a real brief change of tone here. Well, very sudden change of tone from, murder and police brutality to a little story. This morning I was in a good mood. I was trotting down the stairs, ditsy dangle, got to the bottom of the stairs, and I was looking in the shoebox and just putting bits and pieces out of my bag, and then I was standing there in my boxes, okay, because it's a warm day. And my front door's got quite a bit of glass on it. And that was when the post-op man had to obey orders and deliver a postcard to me. Well, to the letterbox. But poor guy, it was kind of funny. Cause I saw it, I was like, oh no, here he comes. Because I had my gate open, he comes in. And I could tell this poor guy saw a glimpse of me standing there in my boxes. But of course, he's probably had this before. He's traumatized already. So he just looks down and he's smiling slightly and I'm laughing. But there's kind of a door between us. It was really strange because if you remove the door, it was a very, very, very comical situation where two people would have had to confront the comical situation and be like, oh, hello, yeah, sorry, just, in my box. He's like, yeah, don't worry, man, yeah, sure, I'm just doing my job, yeah, don't worry, man. Next time I deliver you the parcel, I'll forget all about this. Alright, yeah, cheers, thank you for doing that, man. Have a good post. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, imagine you were in the park and then you went behind a bush to urinate, and there was somebody who was urinating already. That's kind of how the dynamic felt. But there was a door in the way, so it wasn't like that, which is quite interesting. It was a boring financial letter. So I swear, if you just apply to a bank and you have an account, they just send you, just wads and wads and wads of paper. Just saying, hello, your bank account has this much money in it. hello, this bank account has this much money in it. You have gained 1 penny of interest in the last year because your interest rate is incredibly low because we are experiencing financial difficulties and we're going to punish you for it for wanting to save your money, right? Okay, thank you very much already. And then they just decided that they were going to start a cost on one of my accounts, £3 a month. It's the most annoying thing is that it's a current account and I need a current account. And that means I'm just going to get charged £36 a year. I mean, come on, I'm losing money by having money. All I want to do is put it somewhere where I don't trip over it, it's accidentally tearing it. Halifax. Naughty. Naughty, naughty. I'm going to have to... what's my complaint going to do? You're just going to get an automated response like their emails. You know how on emails you can write things like, do not reply, whatever. Especially the banks do that, or banks or official things do that. I think I might try and start to integrate that into my language and interactions with people. So I may go something like, "Sir, your hair looks stupid. Do not reply to the following message. Your hair looks stupid." Sounds quite fun, don't you think? And it also has the same effect because they're like, if he's told me do not reply, he probably doesn't care about my response. It might work. But then, yeah. Nah, it seems a little bit rude. A little bit obtuse to do that. And, the night before last, me and a friend, we climbed a tree with a bag, and within our bag we had a hammock. We climbed the tree at about 9 o'clock at night, so you may be able to see where this is going. It had a little tub of halloumi cheese. It was 9 p.m. I had a hammock. I had a sleeping bag. I wonder where else this could be going, other than I'd spent the night in a tree. It was really, really nice. Actually, nice. Nice is certainly the wrong adjective. There will be the adjective out there that I want to grasp. However, my brain is probably too small. The way I would describe it is it was worth doing. I've done it before, and there's just something fun. For me, I've always been this way where, for me, doing things that are difficult and like kind of torturous with people is always really funny. Like it's just something I really get a kick out of it. And you're in this hammock, you're cold, you're wearing like 4 layers already, which is probably why you're cold, and you're in a sleeping bag. And all you hear, because there's a where I do it, there's loads of trees, there's a lovely river, it's beautiful. Oh my god, you can hear the birds, the plopping of the river every now and then when a fish goes to, take a breath. I don't know why bubbles come up. And then you hear little moorhens just underwater, and it's really like, oh my god. But on the other side of the river, there's a huge there's a huge industrial estate. So all night is beep, 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 beep. That kind of thing. Beep. And then dispatching concrete or whatever it is. And it's just really funny, really. And you're, because your ears, this is what I'm saying about ears. You can't turn them off. You can shut your eyes. You can kind of block your nose. But you can, because it's just vibrations, and the vibrations go through your head anyway, even if you put earbuds in. So yeah, you stay up all night, you wake up knackered, but it's still really fun. I've got this theory about ears, where I believe that our ears make the noise silence, but it's very quiet. But they still make it, and whenever there's another noise, it overwrites the silence. You see, so silence is like the lowest rung of audibility, and our ears make the noise. Because you can't prove me wrong. You probably could actually, but for the sake of this podcast and mild piece of entertainment, let's say you can't, because that means when nothing else is going on, your ears are just chatting to themselves. My lips are a bit dry. I apologise. You can probably hear them like crashing into each other. They're not that dry, of course. And also, my lips are all rather small, so they wouldn't crash into each other. They kind of, I don't know. What happens? They clap? I don't know. What happens when two little things collide really hard? It doesn't happen very often. It's never really considered that impressive. If you shot a pea at another pea and they really are 900 miles an hour, you still just be like, oh. But if a lorry was going 900 miles an hour, it's suddenly a headline. No, I don't know how. That's faster than the speed of light. Speed of sound. I was wrong. That would mean that you'd see a lorry driving very fast, but you wouldn't be able to hear it. No, you'd hear behind it or something. I don't understand. I'm not very good at physics. Haven't done it in ages, baby. I'm a free man. I just go for walks now. That's all I do. Go for walks. Read a little bit of books. Play games. Catch 22. Really, really good book. There's something's happening at the moment, but I don't really understand it. It's about like this guy, and he keeps saying the word the Syndicate, and I think it's all like clever stuff about it's all social commentary, but I don't really understand it, so I'm just smiling and enjoying the odd sentence which I understand. Goddamn 566 pages. Yossarian. That's the guy, that's the main guy. He's kind of the main guy. He's a soldier, and they keep making him fly planes and crash into people and bomb people, and he's going, man, I've flown enough planes. Come on, I've flown enough planes. Look at my record, I've flown enough planes. And then the guy, the leader, he goes, nah, you got to fly 5 more. You got to fly 5 more. And he says, I'm crazy. And they go, no, you're not. And he goes, look, I am. Come on, look, I'm crazy. Look at me. And they go, no, you're not, because you told me you're crazy. Thus, you are not crazy. And that is the essence and contradiction which plagues war from the perspective of Joseph Heller in Catch-22. And it's also why you say, oh, this is a Catch-22, is when something's like, you can't solve it. It's like a problem where you... Anyway, What's a Catch-22? Haven't got one off the top of my head. Haven't got much else off the top of my head, other than hair at the moment. I'm feeling a little bit dry in the brain. I'm creating loads of material though. I do it every day now. I go down to a river and I write jokes. Not jokes, I write things that I find funny. There's one about peanut butter, which is quite fun. Like, basically this peanut butter that my mum bought. She bought 1 kilogram of it in a jar, you see. This isn't me doing the joke, but I'm giving you context. And there's a kilogram of it, so there's quite a lot. And I don't know, there's something about these peanuts, but it's kind of an off-brand hidden one, like one of the black market peanut butter brands where they it's not the kind of hip and trendy Meridian or other pole nut mega green, and all the kind of matte, all the packaging is matte in the posh ones, and this one's kind of like shiny, you're blinded by it. And the peanuts are tough. Something about them, I know they're mashed up already and they're completely smooth, but they really got a kick to them. There's something else. I call them ghetto, right? Because they're just kind of rough. I don't know. They're not soft and delicate and subtle like most peanut brands are. But I kind of rate it. It kind of wakes you up in the morning because you've got to have an argument with your peanuts every morning because they're quite strong. You see? That's the essence of it. That's not the joke. I haven't told you any of what the words that I thought were funny, but that was more just the context in which the joke is born. But it's not a joke, but it's a long joke. I find it really hard to describe comedic, like, what, because I wouldn't say it. Most comedians don't do jokes, but there's no other word for it. You know how jest is like, jest means to, like, joke around. So I think we should say gesture. So comedians do gesture, or gestures, or they are gesturing. Oh wait, that makes sense. But like with a G. But hey, I haven't got the influence over it. Richard Pryor. Oh my god, Richard Pryor. If you're listening to this and you've got Netflix, watch Richard Pryor's live in concert, because it's incredible. I think he did it in 1979, and it's kind of the prototype of all modern comedy, at least in America. In the UK, it's slightly different, but it was so impressive to see. Well, really, stuff needs to start happening. Because this is difficult. When I start doing gigs, I'll tell you stuff that happens at gigs which you might find funny, like me bombing. Hardest I ever bombed was on the 5th of August, and I just bombed for 5 minutes, and I left the place straight afterwards, and I just really couldn't bear it. I couldn't look anyone in the eye. Even though everybody else bombed, because the night was horrendous. It was like in this big room, and they had the doors open, but they were on a main road. So cars would just rush by and all the air would leave the room. It was just horrific. But it wasn't that bad. I think the American potential civil war is looking a bit more dangerous. Goodbye everyone. It was lovely to spend time with you today. Thank you for listening.